A very good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So I welcome you all for
Hello, good evening.
Good
evening. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
I welcome you all for the 657th meeting of Medley Toastmasters Club. So I'm Sharanya. I'll be playing the Sergeant Atom's role for today's meeting. So the mission of Toastmasters Club is to provide a mutually supportive and a positive learning environment in which every member gets an opportunity to improve their communication and leadership skills. With this, we usually in every Toastmasters meeting, we follow 3 ground rules. Rule number 1, please go on mute if you're not talking. Please avoid taboo topics such as sex, religion, and politics. So in every Toastmasters meeting, we are supposed to join the meeting in a formal attire. So please do join the meeting in a formal attire. With this, I would like to hand it over to the presiding officer for today's meeting. It's Toastmaster Rangarajan. Over to you, Toastmaster Rangarajan.
Good afternoon, fellow Toastmasters and guests, and a warm welcome to DTM Abraham Zakaria, who will be giving us a talk on parliamentary procedures, DTM Sampath Saurirajan, and DTM Thomas T. Abraham, fellow Toastmasters and guests. So it's a pleasure to welcome DTM Abraham Zakaria, and we are having a hybrid meeting. This is the second meeting that we are having from IIT Madras. From one side where we have about 5 people here and 5 members here, and the others are joining in from their respective homes. So I do hope that this meeting will be productive, and this is the way we will go forward within the next few months, looks like. So with this, I would like to talk to DTM Jacob has just joined in. Warm welcome to DTM Jacob as well. And with this, I would like to speak to our guest, Selvam, who is attending his 4th meeting as a guest. Guest Selvam, please introduce yourself for the benefit of all of us.
Hi, Toastmasters. Thank you for the brief introduction. So I'm here in Medley for the 4th week of tenure, and I'm working in Nokia Networks, Navlur, and I'm residing in Thiruvanmiyur. So I'm looking for, to improve my communication skills as well as my leadership skills through Medley Toastmasters Club. And thank you, and I'm happy to be part of this Medley Club. Thank you, Toastmaster.
Warm welcome to you. Yes, hello. With that, I would like to hand over the proceedings to our TMOD, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair. Raghunath Nair is a previous president of Medley Toastmasters, and he's been with the Toastmasters for more than a decade and taking a short break here and there while he was in the Middle East. With that, I hand over the proceedings to Toastmaster Raghunath.
Thank you so much, Mr. President of Medley Toastmasters. A very warm good afternoon to everyone present online and also at our venue in IIT Madras, where I missed being in the samosas and the tea that we might get after this session. So, as Toastmaster of the day, for the guest and also for the new members, it's primarily a good moment where we can talk most of the time, and entirely like you get an opportunity to talk, to introduce people, and talk about an interesting topic for the whole session. And There are some meetings where a Toastmaster of the day becomes an MC. It's like that. So you learn a lot as what Toastmasters teach you. Not just 1 decade. The association that I had with close to 2 decades in Toastmasters was another moment of my life where it happens, where I met a lot of very positive people of various fields and various age. But the warmth which you get in the Toastmaster is something which makes you it as an addiction. It can be an addiction or a thing for that makes you continue in this momentum and this fraternity for a life. Life is a beautiful journey, and that's meant to be embraced in the full, like every day. However, that doesn't mean that you always wake up ready to seize the moment, or like it need not be always, but sometimes you need a reminder kind of a thing in life, which that it is a great gift. And like it can be some in the morning, a smile from your daughter or your wife, or a small quote that you get from your friend. Sometimes a call makes the life more precious and understand what it is. Like it can be some messages that we get it from the successful people. That the important is we need to try and look into positives. And if that is also not possible, try not to be negative. Life is what happens when you're busy making some other plan for the future. But of course, that doesn't mean that we should not be looking into the future and make plans, but something where you need to really feel like if someone says like smell the roses, and that's something which we need to be reminded for this, to enjoy this beautiful life. Because in school I never had a thought, and because of my height I ended up always being in the backbencher, right? And that was an advantage which you have, because you're able to see the class to the fullest and enjoy every moment of it. And the bonding that you had in the backbenches goes too long, right? But sometimes it can be life can be unpredictable. And that is when you need to learn how to stop and then smell the roses once in a while, at least. Be grateful and appreciating what you have, rather than what you doesn't mean to have, which doesn't mean that you don't need to chase your dreams, but don't ignore the blessings and love that surrounds you, especially the kind of Toastmaster fraternity which you get in. And every instance in life, there is something that we can be thankful for. Like it's your family, the fraternity of Toastmasters, the friends, which makes it worth living and working hard, like working to the best of it. The most beautiful moment, if you ask me, in my life is when I got that little bundle of joy from the nurse. That little bundle as the first daughter. I mean, my daughter, and that was something which made me think like what, or made me understand what my dad stands for. And that's something which you always, what he was there as silent in your life. So there are certain moments in life. Let's capture those moments in life. And now in today's meeting, we have a beautiful prepared speeches where we learn, because they have took good amount of time in preparing themselves and presenting it to you, prepared speeches. Then we have a education session where we learn about what is parliamentary session from our DTM Abraham Sakria, and then a session where we have topics where you'll be given topics and you need to think, stand on your feet and think and deliver for 1 to 2 minutes. And definitely an evaluation session where we have positively evaluate the speeches, the whole session, and how it all went. And to conduct the whole evaluation session, we have our Toastmaster Sharanya. Sharanya, before you started speaking, I wanted to understand what was the happiest or one of the key moments in your life that you can think of.
Yeah, she's here.
So the key moment that I can think of is when we get a first job, right? It is always exciting to join a new company and then get an offer and then start a career. So I think that is one of the most key moments on the first day of my work experience.
Marriage.
Yeah, that is also one of the key moments.
That is the best.
Thank you, sir. Yeah, that is also.
Excellent. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharanya, to explain what a general evaluator role is all about. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. So I'll be the general evaluator for today's meeting. So this is the most important portion. So where we receive feedback and we can apply feedback on our coming speeches. So to help me out, I have two teams with me. One is a tag team, which consists of timer, accounter, and grammarian. And I have a set group of evaluators with me who will be evaluating the prepared speeches. So let me introduce the tag team now. So first, as a timer, we have Moinak Banerjee, who is from Durgapur, West Bengal. So currently he is residing in Chennai. And he is also the co-founder of a deep tech stand-up in the field of robotics. Over to you, Moinak. Can you please read out your roles and responsibilities as a timer?
Thank you, TM Sharanya. Greetings, fellow Toastmasters and guests. As timer, I will time the table topic speakers, formal speeches, and evaluations. I will also alert each speaker of the time they have left using green, yellow, and red cards, which denote specific times remaining. Table topic speakers should limit their remarks to no more than 2 minutes. At 1 minute, I will raise the green card. At 1 minute and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. And at 2 minutes, I will raise the red card. Other formal speeches should be between 5 to 7 minutes in length. At 5 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 6 minutes, I will raise the yellow card. At 7 minutes, I will raise the red card. The individual evaluations should be between 2 to 3 minutes. At 2 minutes, I will raise the green card. At 2 minutes and 30 seconds, I will raise the yellow card. At 3 minutes, I will raise the red card. Please do not forget to pin me in your screen before you start speaking so that my background is visible. Thank you. Over to you, Madam Toastmaster.
Thank you, timer. So next, let's hear it from our accounter. So today's accounter is Toastmaster Dharan. So Toastmaster Dharan, can you there is a change in the agenda. It's Toastmaster Periyasamy as accountant today. So Toastmaster Periyasamy, can you please read out your roles and responsibilities as an accounter?
Yeah, thank you, GE. The purpose of accounter is to note words and sounds that are used as crutch or pause filler by anyone who speaks. During the meeting, I will listen to overused words, including and well, but, so, you know. I will also listen to filler words like ver. I will also note when a speaker repeat words or phrase like I, and this means. At the end of the meeting, I will report out the number of times each speaker used these expressions. Thank you, GE. Over to GE.
Thank you, Toastmaster Periyasamy. So next we have a grammarian. It's Toastmaster Priyadarshini. So Toastmaster Priyadarshini, can you please read out your roles and responsibilities as a grammarian?
Yes. Good afternoon to all my fellow Toastmasters and guests. Today as a grammarian, my job is to pay close attention to all speakers, listen carefully to their language usage, make note of good words, thoughts, statements, and also quotes. And as a grammarian, it's my responsibility to introduce word of the day. And today's word is mesmerize. Yes, it's mesmerize, which means to capture the complete attention. Mesmerize also means to captivate or fascinate. Let me give examples here. Children were mesmerized looking at the fireworks. Lata was mesmerized by author's writing style and she purchased all his books. We were mesmerized by your story. So I wish you all use this word mesmerize in your speech or whenever you use this virtual platform. I'll be giving my report when called by our general evaluator at the end of this meeting. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini. So I'll come back during the evaluation portion. I am handing over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghunath Nayak.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharanya. To me, every meeting in Toastmasters has mesmerized. It can be the education session, the prepared speeches, sometimes even the table topic speeches, because you get to hear various thoughts, ideas, and prepared speeches where you get a different perspective for a particular subject. But now, before we move into that prepared speeches session, we have a great education session where we learn about parliamentary procedures. And he is none other than Toastmaster DTM Abraham Zakaria. He has been associated with Chennai Toastmaster Club and still remembers the 4 p.m. of 6th December 2003, where he had attended the first Toastmaster demo meeting. Chennai Toastmaster is the first club of District 120, and he is the charter member since its inception. But before we move into the whole education session, DTM Abraham Zakaria, can I ask you, what is another key moment that you had in your life which has influenced you other than the Toastmasters, or what has influenced you in your life?
Thank you so much. I wrote many exams to pass my chartered accountancy.
Okay.
And after a decade, the day I passed out, I got mesmerized, I must say, because I didn't know what to do. I got a shock. And 2 minutes, I couldn't make out whether I was passed or not, because every exam I was failing. So one exam you passed. So I was not getting a kick or hang of it. That's, I must say that.
Excellent. Thank you so much for sharing that moment. Now let's put our hands together and welcome DTM Abraham Zakaria to help us in knowing what the parliamentary procedure is all about. Over to you, DTM Abraham.
Thank you. Add me as a co-host so that I can share my...
You can still share your screen, I think. Because I am able to share the screen without being co-host.
So how do I do this? Okay, right.
Maybe the co-host.
Share. Yes.
Yes, we are able to see your screen.
You can see my screen?
Yes, we are able to see.
1 second, let me see this. But I can't see mine, that's a problem. I can see all of you.
Perfect.
But I can't see the screen. How do I see my screen?
Do you have 2 monitors, sir?
So can you please put yourself in dual mode?
Why can't you pin spotlight DTM Abraham Zakaria? Then he will be able to see both the screens.
Okay.
To spotlight everyone or only?
Yeah, now it is spotlighters. Now I think you can see your screen.
I can see myself, but I can't see the screen. You had me as a host, then I think it is easier.
All right.
Then there will be an issue for us in creating polls, sir. I think you will be.
Maybe you can make him as co-host, no, Sharanya?
Yeah, I've already made him as a co-host.
Okay.
Let me see what best I can do in this.
Can I do the screen sharing?
Pardon?
Abraham, can I do screen sharing? You sent me the file, right?
Can
I
you
can do the
just,
screen sharing.
Zach, we cannot make you a host.
Okay.
You can only be a co-host.
Okay, right. I
You are
agree.
able to hear me?
Yes, I am able to hear you.
Yeah, you can be only a co-host because host means you'll have to bring us back after you finish. You may find it difficult.
Yeah, that I agree.
Can you mail the presentation to?
Yeah, it is with Sambat.
I'm having it. I can share the. I will try to share. So you please stop sharing. I will do the sharing.
Yeah, Sambat is having it.
You please stop sharing.
What shall I do? I have sent it to
Somebody
you.
else is sharing the screen.
just a moment. I think you'll be able to share it now, Sambat sir.
So what's happening? Anything?
Yeah, I just downloaded because I could not directly share it. So I
Zach, 2
downloaded
minutes.
Yeah.
2 minutes. You are getting mesmerized.
Yeah.
Now can you see?
Yes, I can see. Yes.
You want to do slideshow?
Only side slow. Yeah. So how do you make it bigger one? Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I can see, but you make it bigger one. It's see the sides have been seen. All slides can be seen. Yeah.
Can you click on from beginning the presentation, the first item?
You tell me what you want to do.
Yeah, go to
from beginning.
See, he has to move this.
Top left is from beginning. You click that.
I have done that only. It is only the beginning. First
No, you have to click that from beginning screen.
Click பண்ணுங்க சார்.
PPT full screen.
From beginning click பண்ணுங்க சார்.
Otherwise you go to right side corner.
Correct.
Right side corner.
I have done that, Baba. I have done from beginning only.
No, go to the PPT and do it. At the bottom.
At the bottom rightmost. Yeah, try that.
Plus sign. At பக்கத்துல.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Click.
You ask.
Sir, can you share the PPT to Saranya?
Yeah, send it.
Anyway, nothing secret. I can start it. Forget it. Okay.
Yeah, next to the book, there is a symbol. Kindly press that.
Where's the book?
The PPT bottom. The PPT, there is a 4 squares and book, and next to the bottom, 72%. Before that, press that. We are able to see your PPT.
You are asking me or some?
Yes, sir. I am asking you.
Yeah.
I have sent it to Sharanya. Let her do it.
Yes.
This one, huh?
Next to the book.
This is only reactions.
No, down, back. Ah, yes.
So I have sent it to Sharanya. Let her do that.
Shall I press this?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, you bring back at least the old one. I can start with that. That is okay.
WhatsApp.
You.
Yeah, you're doing it.
Wait, 2 seconds, sir.
2 seconds. 1 minute, Zach.
Recording in progress.
We're almost there.
I think General Evaluator must be very happy because she got a point now.
General Evaluator should be happy.
Make all this early. Yes. Yes.
Or anyone else can do it, like Raghu or.
Instead of full screen, you can show me the other screen. That is good enough for me.
You want to send it to me?
No, it's not in Medley. You put it in Medley. Yes, put it.
Dr. Sampath, can you message me? I will present. If you haven't done, can you?
Okay, just Dr. Sampath, can you just share it? Dr. Sampath, please request you to share the PowerPoint. Because we have a problem with WhatsApp. We are not able to download it from WhatsApp.
No, just forward it to me. I can share it. Please forward it to me even in WhatsApp.
Yeah, Dr. Sampath, share it in the Team Moody group so that Team Moody can take it. Others also can try. Sampath sir?
Sent it to Nair already.
Sampath sir, can you proceed sharing your screen? So we are not able to access here. We're having some trouble in opening and using a WhatsApp.
Okay.
There you go. I think you are able to see.
Yes, yes. Now
next slide.
Next slide. Yes, one more slide. Okay, now good enough. So I can't change the slide. Only somebody has to help me, isn't it?
I'm there. So you can say next slide and it will change.
Okay, right. Okay, shall we start? I think
yes,
timer may please ignore this time, or you can add it also. I have no issues. Okay, friends, let me start. Ask me a question. Well, you want a good news or a bad news? One bad news is over, but again, you have one more bad news. You want a good news or a bad news?
We'll start with the bad and end with good.
I know that every time somebody will say, you want to listen to the bad news. Bad news is that in Toastmasters, I tell you, this parliamentary procedures is the most confusing one. Anything else you can understand. This is very, very confusing. And the good news is that without knowing parliamentary procedures, you cannot move from a club to the higher level. As you go up and up in the ladder, this is very, very important. And international level, even district level also, you must know parliamentary procedures. Okay, with this note, I must thank everyone for giving me this wonderful opportunity, especially my good friend, Sambat Savitirajan. Sambat Savitirajan, I'll tell you an incident, you will get mesmerized. In our school, we had a annual day, and that day morning, this chief guest said he can't come for some reason. So I was desperately trying to get a chief guest, and I requested Sambat Savitirajan. Imagine that morning I requested about 10:30. The function was at 4 o'clock. He has agreed. And he has come. That was a very mesmerizing point in my life. I am always grateful to him. That shows the action speaks louder than the words here. That's all I can say about this. Okay, friends, let me ask you a question. This gavel, when we open a club meeting, how many times we have to tap this gavel?
I think 3 times.
Twice.
Any other answers?
Twice.
3, 2, then
1.
Okay. How many times we have to tap it when you close the meeting?
Same only.
Same. So that is the actually when we open the meeting, we have to tap it twice. When we close it, we have to tap it once. And if there is an order to restore an order, you have to tap it 3 times. That's a normal procedure. Okay, next please. Next slide. Yeah. Parliamentary procedures are to conduct the meeting orderly. I don't have to explain what is orderly and disorderly, because what is that we see practically every day in the screen, disorderly having a parliamentary procedure someplace. And orderly meetings, only one person should stand up at a time. When the speaker stands up, all others should say, all these are the procedures. So basically to have the meeting in a very orderly manner, and all these decisions taken are fairly and in good faith, because the member should understand that this parliamentary procedures are conducted in fairly for everyone present there and in good faith. Okay, 1 second. Okay, and it should be based, certain bases are there. one vote for a member, only one vote. I may be a president of a club. Maybe I could be a area director, or maybe I am some top 7 or something, but still I have only one vote. And every member has a right to know resolutions or motion and its effect. What is it for, and how is it going to work? How is it going to affect Toastmasters? How is it going to affect the members? That details should be known to everyone. And majority decides, but minority has a right to, minority right has to be protected. This is a parliamentary procedures in nutshell. Next one, please. Next. Yeah. Parliamentary procedures protect the rights and gives fair opportunity for all members to participate with transparency. All members, everyone has a right to answer, take part in the debate, and it should be transparent. It is not that somebody, a few people are doing it, but every member should be allowed to participate, and it should be transparent. That means it should be open to all. All debates are to be open. And this parliamentarian is an advisor to the presiding officer. Presiding officer could be club president to the international president, and to conduct the meeting, the functions, the rules and regulations of the parliamentary procedures. If there is a doubt, the president or the presiding official can ask the parliamentarian to explain it or give a ruling. Or if the parliamentarian feels that there is a mistake or handling or ruling, he can correct the president summato. He can voluntarily, he can tell him. Usually, parliamentarian sits behind the presiding official. Usually in a meeting. When otherwise also they can correct it, because if he sits behind, it should not be seen others that there's a person prompting him on other things. That is one way we can do it. Parliamentarians are important from club to international. But here in our club business meetings, we are not having, we don't have a practice. I think in Gulf countries, they have a practice of having parliamentarians for business meeting of the club also. I think we can groom that so that parliamentarians can be developed over a period. Next one, please. Okay, by the way, you have any doubt, you can ask. I will give you time again. You can ask in between about that particular slide. Parliamentary procedures, there are 2 types of parliamentary procedures. That is a history of those parliamentary procedures, I'll tell you. One is called the Westminster. By name itself, you know, this is a United Kingdom, and this is followed by UK and all the Commonwealth countries. Obviously, India is also following the Westminster. And the Westminster, as you know, in UK, there is nothing written. Everything is going by procedures, practice, convention. But there was one clerk there by name Eric May. He wrote a book on parliamentary procedures. It is not very popular because UK is not following, UK and Commonwealth countries are not following it per se, as per the book. They go by conventions and practices. Tradition, precedents. Always you can see in our Parliament, people talk, this is a precedent. I can ask a question on this. This is a precedent. And sometimes they give a ruling saying that this should not be quoted as a precedent. You know, some emergency. They say, no, I can allow you, but don't quote this as a precedent. That will record it there. Next one, please. There is the Robert Rules. Robert Rules, there is a person called General Henry M. Robert. He wrote a parliamentary rules in 1876 to provide consistency in process of conducting. This is followed in US and many other countries. And Toastmasters International is following Robert Rules. Present one is the 11th edition of Robert Rules. When you become a parliamentarian of the district, you get this book, the latest edition of the Robert Rules. We have to follow Robert Rules. This is how our parliamentary system is having it. It has some very subtle difference only. Next one, please. So basically, parliamentary procedures in Westminster, conventions, precedents, practices are there. Whereas Robert Rules, there's a book, it get edited, new editions are coming up. The latest one is 11th edition. You have noticed that in Westminster, after the main agenda is over, there is a line saying that any other business with the permission of the chair. With the permission of the chair, you can take up anything. But whereas in parliamentary procedures, before the starting of the meeting or before taking up the business of the day, the chairman has to say, this is the agenda. You have anything else? So members will say, take up this member. We are changing our club timing from to this, or we are changing from coffee to tea, whatever it is. You want to say yes. So they adopt all this. Then somebody will say, okay, these are the agenda. Then you cannot take any further agenda. So this is the president, the presiding official is given the agenda, all other items which are not given in the business of the day. Then, as you know, in parliamentary, in Westminster, we say a resolution. In Robert Rules, it is called a motion. One is followed in Commonwealth countries, other one in US and other countries. And chairman's rulings are based on importance in Westminster or precedence. Whereas in Robert Rules, everything is noted. Everything is noted. The hierarchy of the motion is given. Actually, this is a very difficult part. You must, when you sit in a very difficult situation, you have to have this ready. Even in the books given by Toastmasters, it says you must keep this handy for you to know it. We have pending motions, we have privileged motions, we have incidental motions, we have additional motions. Now, so many things are there. So this is, everything is written. Basically, that's the idea. Whereas the other one, it is the chairman's discretion is more than the hierarchy. Next one, please. Here, I'll share a few basic definitions. Some of you must be very familiar with this. What is a quorum? Minimum number of members present to transact a business. You would have seen this. What is a quorum? So this is minimum number. Here, district council, 1/3 of the club presidents and VPs, not the division director or area directors. District council quorum is 1/3 of the club presidents and VPs. So what happens if there is no quorum? So can I have somebody give me an answer for that? Hello?
We need to postpone the business meeting.
Yeah. Technically, it is called adjourn. So you don't have to adjourn for a day, but you can adjourn for a few minutes. You would have seen our secretary, admin manager announcing that we don't have quorum. We will be having it another 15 minutes. By the time, if it's a virtual meeting, people will be entering. Even otherwise, also they'll request everyone to please come, leave your coffee, come back. And all these announcements you can hear. So you have to have a quorum for that to take a decision. So this is applicable for club, division, area, and district. Other than district council, the quorum is majority. Here we have a problem. In clubs, you would have seen there is something else we say. Active members. So if every club has to have a bylaw, in bylaw you have to say who are all the active members. The clubs are given the right to decide who is an active member. Can I ask what is an active member rule or something for the Medley? If usually we may not have, Even our club also, we decide at the last minute, or maybe at the previous meeting, or the after the announcement of the meeting only.
Zach, can I interrupt? Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach, you know, Toastmaster International also defines active members. It says that the club can inform Toastmaster International of any particular member who will not be actively participating, who will get the exemption of the, what do you call it? The $45 fee.
Yes.
They will get that exemption. But they will continue to be a member of the club.
I am saying that point only, where who should be an active member, the club can decide. A person comes regularly last 3 months. A person is not coming for 3 months regularly. He is a member. We are not removing him from the role. Only he is a member for voting to know the quorum. He can be defined. So those who come regularly for last 3 months are active members, or last 1 month are active members. Because many clubs, what happens, they have a lot of members, and half of them may not be coming in. One time our Wordsmith Toastmasters is having about 90 members. Hey, you have to have 45 members to have the quorum. I'm sorry, 90. You have to have 45 members, 46 members. So 45 members comes, you don't have time or place also to sit. So we decide. And after members are not coming regularly. So we decide. That is what active members. Please note that this is something very important for the club level. You have to decide active member for a business meeting. This is only for the business meeting, especially where is there an election or any other major agenda. For division and area, it is a majority. Even district exco meeting also, it is only majority. Next one, please. Yeah. Actually, this is not in our. This is an out of syllabus question I am asking you. I thought I'll take a break for this. Who can operate a bank account or bank account of a club? Pardon?
President and the treasurer.
Treasurer, then?
President.
President, then who else? One more person is there. Yes, please. Secretary, you are absolutely right. Because we get, usually we get this VP get the mileage. So, but treasurer is a mandatory. And for, only 2 levels we can have the club accounts in Toastmasters. One is club. Which is the other one?
International.
Pardon?
International only.
Yes, you are right. I know you know all the answers. Only international and the club can have the have the bank accounts. In fact, it is defined as only clubs and international can have assets. I think 2 years back it has come, because say earlier this district or club others were buying equipments like PPT and other things. Sorry, projectors and other things. Now it is discouraging. Clubs also, they say don't create any assets, because that is a big that international auditors asking for some clarification, certification. So only clubs can and international can have the bank accounts. Sorry, clubs, district also can. Sorry, I'm sorry. District also, club, district and international. Club, district and international can have. Okay, can I have the next one? Next slide, please. Next definition is proxy. Proxy is a vote cast by one person on behalf of another person. Proxy, this is permitted even in Companies Act and other places where you cannot go. You can ask somebody to vote on your behalf. And in Toastmasters, no proxies are allowed during this online meeting. So some of you would have voted this time also from here for the international directors election, and first vice president election. So I had the great privilege of voting for the first time because I am a secretary of a club, not in District 121. So I had a privilege of voting. It's very easy. So first time I voted. Otherwise, you have to go to international. These proxies are collected by the district of Trio. Used to collect the proxies and take it to the international, where you have to have a register rate and vote and other things. Who are all the district council members? Presidents and VPs of the clubs are district officers. Who are all district council members? President, VPs are of the club, and district officers are the district council members. District ExCom is area directors and onwards to the trio. Next one, please. Who are all the district ExCom? Top 7. Top 7 is the trio, the district director, PQD, CGD, admin manager, finance manager, PR manager, and IPD. And all the district division directors and area directors. District ExCom can carry own vote plus 2 votes, a proxy. They can carry only those. Only they can have their own vote and 2 proxies only. In international council, voters, the proxies are president, secretary of the club officers can vote. They can be the voting. They are in the electoral role. Toastmasters international election. Next one, please. Yeah. Okay, this is a very important, especially for the clubs and district. See, you have to give 4 weeks notice for the meeting, and the agenda has to be sent 2 weeks in advance. A division, area and club, 2 weeks and 1 week. This is a notice for the meeting. If notice is in order, we cannot have the meeting itself, because that become voidable in the sense only they can decide. If all of them, no objections are there, of course they can conduct the meeting. But as an admin manager or secretary, ensure that you send the notice on time. Next one, please. So I'm covering only the basics. What is the constitution? Constitution is the fundamental or objectives of the organization. But Toastmasters also. These fundamentals cannot be changed. Toastmasters cannot decide that we are going for a service organization, because it is meant to be an educational organization only. Maybe here and there you can add something, but the basics we cannot change. Whereas bylaws are there, administrative bylaws. There are various things we can change. Conduct rules. How many times you would have seen conduct rules? Conduct is, if the mandatory, conduct rules can be changed. One time they said you should not use DTMs, only Toastmasters, and one time said no Toastmasters also, only name can be said, and various other things you would have seen. You can, now the latest one is you cannot refer the content of the previous speaker. These are all the administrative laws that we have. To change the rules, we need only 2/3 of the majority, but other one cannot be changed. And when you create a bylaw, it should not be ultra vires to the constitution. You should not have something which will violate the constitution itself. The fundamentals should not be. The club cannot say that we are not having conduct. We are going to be a service organization. There is floods. We are going to contribute money for all this. We cannot have it. That cannot be our main objective. Yes, technically, Toastmasters can make money, cannot make any collections at all. The next one, please. So this is something very important, and it is important to know about that. In voting, you can abstain from voting. You can abstain from, you don't have to vote. In the sense, there are 30 members are in attendance. 18 abstained. And in a motion, 7 favored and 5 opposed. The motion is passed. Please understand, there are 30 people. Majority is 16, whereas 18 abstained. They didn't vote. Like we have nota. None of the above. You can abstain from voting. Still, out of that, whoever is getting the maximum, they get the vote. They get the 50% and above. The second one is equally important. Plurality versus majority. In Indian election, we have a plurality is the design maximum number of votes received. So in an election, 5 people are contesting, one person get 33% or 40%. He may not get 50%. But if all others are getting less than that, the person who is getting 40% are getting elected. But he is not getting the majority. In Toastmasters, we go by majority. That means we have to get 50 plus 1. That is why in Toastmasters elections, we ensure that first round, second round, third round, if for the VP or something, if there is 4 or 5 candidates, we will have till that person gets the majority. So Toastmasters is following majority. But Indian election, we are following plurality. Next one. Next one. Yeah. In an election, at least at the club level, if there is a debate means not a debate we call for, but in club meeting, if there is an issue, can the president participate? Can the presiding official participate in the debate? Technically, presiding official is only to preside. His role is limited to as a speaker. He has to decide who is right, who is not right. He shouldn't say his mind. So in case he feels that I must do the role, I must also say something. I have my own, my point is not my point is favoring X or Y. Then he has to leave the gavel. In the sense, he has to step down and he become an ordinary member there, and then he hand it over to another person. Then he can go and share his thought. Otherwise, he should not participate in the debate. Who is an ex officio member? By virtue of holding a post, you are eligible to attend a meeting. See, I am a finance manager of District 120. I have a note because I am ex officio. Top 7 is ex officio. So that's why. Otherwise, I don't have I am not a district official. I am not a club president. I am not a club VP. Not a district area director or division director. So ex officio members, by virtue of holding a post, yes. Now Praveen is IPD, so he can also vote. All rights.
But in the case of IPP, you cannot vote over in the club.
He is IPP clubs only. So I am talking about ex officio member of. I am by virtue of. Tell me, what is your question?
The as you said, the IPD can vote, and he's an ex officio member, correct?
IP, yes.
In immediate past district government.
Yes.
In the same case, can the IPP in an ExCom be part of the decision taken?
Yes, he's a member of. If he's a member of the club, he continues to be a member of the club.
No, not the member of the club. In the ExCom, when you have thing, what is his role? He can be, he can part of the voting, or
he can vote. Only presiding official should not.
Okay.
Presiding official also can have a casting vote. He can have the casting vote, but I had to get the full question. Once again, you present it.
Yeah, these are two different things we are talking about. You were referring to district, for example, you are referring to. Whereas Raghu was asking about a club situation. In a club, can the immediate past president vote for a ExCom decision?
ExCom club president can definitely vote for the ExCom decision.
Immediate past president.
Yes. Immediate past president is an ExCom member. See, I'm talking about by virtue of being immediate past president, he is a member of the ExCom. That doesn't stop him from voting.
Okay, thank you. Sir,
he should be a Toastmaster of that club. He should not leave and say that I'll come and vote. There are other conditions. Yeah.
If I could take you back to what you said, you said that the president cannot participate in a debate.
Yes.
So typically in an AGM, the president would be representing the club, club ExCom, and he would be explaining things. So he would become a party to the debate, right?
In club meetings, the motion is presented by the secretary is presenting the motion. Then the presiding official is here to listen to various views. There he cannot say his views. He should be capable of seeing that his views are translated by vote by other members. That is leadership. Leadership is not shouting at from there. It is he ensures that he should do all the homework to ensure that his decision is coming up or with some modification.
Thank you.
It could be by voting or it could be by consensus also. Next one, please. Okay, friends, I have come to the last part of this. So you please tell me what are your new learnings, or you can ask me any question. I will try to answer it. If I am not able to answer it, Sampath Savitirajan will answer it for me.
Okay, I will ask questions. I cannot answer all the questions. I am not a pandit of this, and of course, a lot of changes also take place from time to time.
Yeah.
2 points. One is what I think Jayakar, my voice. I think Jayakar was mentioning.
It's not very clear for me. Your audio is not very clear.
Yeah, my audio and my throat also is bad. Now is it better?
Yes, better.
Yeah. Okay. I think DTM Jayakar was mentioning that we can have an active member not paying the fee for the Toastmaster International, the subscription. That rule has gone. Few years back they have changed it. Toastmaster International wants the money. Then only, because we used to have like bench strength, in some companies they have bench strength. Okay, we used to have members who for 6 months or 1 year they are going for a course. So their name will be there, but they will not be there attending the club meeting. I think that has been removed, that provision. Okay, then my question is regarding the active member definition. Is it a good idea from time to time or at the beginning of a particular term or before each announced meeting to redefine that?
See, over a period, we know the practice of a club, how many people come, how many are there, members attending, how many guests are attending. Some people won't come, but they continue to pay. So I think in the beginning of the first meeting, business meeting, we can decide so that we will stick to that. That doesn't mean that we cannot change that also. We can change it also. So if you feel it is not coming up, you change it because ensure that there is a quorum. Otherwise, the club cannot take a decision. That shouldn't, because you have to have the quorum. So decide.
There was a practice. The quorum is not there. Adjourn the meeting for 5 or 10 minutes and reconvene. Even then, if the quorum is not there, also we can proceed. There was a procedure like this some years back. I have seen this happening. Whether that is still there in force?
Yes, in company law, it is permitted. Adjourn meeting, members present that quorum. But in Toastmasters, we ensure that because that is one way of doing it. Otherwise, it'll become an endless business. You can never have a meeting. We never take a decision at all. So we have to decide certain things. We can decide that we must understand the pulse of the meeting, pulse of the members of the meeting, of the club, I must say.
When the quorum is not there, you can do certain items where the voting is not required and of the agenda and wait till the quorum is developed. That's also possible. Am I right?
See, the club can decide certain things. That is why clubs are given a long rope. Here and there, you make a decision. Sampath, do you want to say something? Yeah.
Actually, in the beginning of the meeting, it is decided whether quorum is there or not there. We cannot start the proceedings and then wait for members to join. Oh, now the quorum has come, we will move that motion like this. I don't think that is allowed like this.
Because you said is right, because once members come, usually there is a register where they sign. After signing, if they leave, we can stop it. But they were present. That means we assume that they didn't vote. They abstained from voting. Once they sign, technically there should be a register where they sign, saying that I'm present. I think the timer is showing me red. So friends, thank you so much. I'm once again sorry for the initial.
So one last
delay. Yeah.
See, what is the procedure followed by UN Assembly, whether it is Westminster or American system?
Where?
UN Assembly.
I will ask Sashit Tharoor and get back to you, sir. I have no...
That will be a long answer. Okay, thank you.
That's the only way I can do it for you. Any good question, I will check it up with you. Thank you so much. Thank you, Medley, for giving me this wonderful opportunity.
Thank you so much, DTM Abraham Zakaria. That was a very informative session, especially when you grow up or go up in the ladder of leadership roles in the Toastmaster fraternity. A very important thing that all Toastmasters need to understand and be aware of. Thank you so much for that wonderful session. Let's give him a big round of applause. Thank you so much for taking your time and being part of the Medley thing. Now we have an interesting session. The next session is which is one of the key session in any Toastmaster club, where a person and as a fraternity we are able to learn certain things from the experience of the Toastmasters. So that is where you get the prepared speeches. The Toastmaster put in a lot of efforts and to come up and see what it need to be done. So the first speaker is none other than our Toastmaster Venkat Sheshan. He's by a profession in IT, into sales, and learner by passion. To him, like the life is a beautiful movie with a combination of or snapshots of various good and bad moments. He tries to cherish the present moment, which will help him to script a great epic movie of your life. And for him, he is going to do the level 2 project 1 from the level motivational strategies of understanding his communication style. To read out the objectives of his speech, let me welcome Toastmaster Senthil. Toastmaster Senthil, please read out the objectives of Toastmaster Venkat Sheshan's speech.
Thank you, T.A. Modi. I will be evaluating Toastmaster V. Venkat Sheshan in the path Motivational Strategies Level 2, Project 1. Project name is Understanding Your Communication Style, and the speech title is 6321. The purpose of this project is to learn about different communication styles and identify your primary style. The purpose of the speech is for the member to share the impact of his or her styles on others. Timer, please note that speech duration is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, TMOD.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Senthil. Now let's put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Venkat Sheshan. 6, 3, 2, 1. 6, 3, 2, 1. Toastmaster Venkat Sheshan, over to you.
Good evening, fellow Toastmasters. February 2nd, 2015, Nitya, my project teammate, came to my desk. Venkat, I have made a mistake. Yes, Nitya, go ahead. While updating database table, mistakenly I updated all the records instead of updating 3 records. Oh, how many records you have updated? It's around 28,000 records, Venkat. Okay. Meanwhile, Rohit, our project manager, is sitting beside me. He started shouting at Nitya. I stopped him yelling and I started thinking what to do next. Nitya, when was the last backup taken? It was yesterday night, 9 p.m. Venkat. Okay, let's do one thing. We refresh the database from the backup and let's continue from there. No, Venkat, how can you tell this? We will lose all our work for today. Yes, I understand, Rohit. That's the only situation we have now. So Nitya, what you do, you refresh the database tonight and you go home. Tomorrow, you ensure that today's work and tomorrow's work are completed without fail by tomorrow end of the day. Okay, Venkat, thanks a lot. I apologize for whatever I've done. I'm sorry for that. That's fine, Nitya, you can leave now. Rohit here. Venkat, you should be very strict to these people. You are very lenient, Venkat. I should say that. I noted his feedback then. I used to get this kind of feedback from my families too. Chinu, this is how my wife calls me. You are very polite and lenient to our kids. That's why they don't respect you, no? I asked her, don't they respect me or they share all their mistakes because I give them that freedom? I think it's the later. Similar kind of feedback that I am very lenient, patient, I used to get from other set of people as well. With this all curiosity, when I started working on this project on learning my communication style, I happened to know that my style of communication is supportive. Typically, a supportive type of communication style persons, they are very patient, they're very polite, and they work together in a group. They are also active listener. Sometimes they don't like changes much. And very few times people conceive that they are indecisive. Yes, they are not taking decisions at right moment. So with this all curiosity, I continued with this project. And I went to my wife and I told her, see, this is the project I'm doing. She said, Chinu, you are very polite and patient, but you have your objectives clear and you know the direction where you need to head to. And you take along all the people who come on your way. So that's what I know about your communication style, and you convince them and make them grow. So that's your style of communication. I was so happy hearing that. Then it became curious for me to know what is her communication style. I found that her style is direct. Typically a direct style of person, they are very quick, fast in taking decisions and result oriented, and they work very quick in any kind of activities. There are two reasons why I came up with this. Is the first one, because I know her, she's very fast, takes decisions quickly. Sometimes this kind of people, they are conceived or perceived as more demanding and impatient, including myself. I used to feel like that about my wife. So this is how the direct type of communication people behave. The second reason is the Toastmasters manual, they have referred all other communication style with he, H-E. Only direct type of communication, they have referred as she, S-H-E. So I think they might know that all women are of type direct type of communication style. With this curiosity, I continued learning about the different communication style, including myself. There are three key learnings which I got from this. The first one is, being a supportive type of personality, I should ask for information when I need to. If I don't have some information, I should open up and ask for it, which is not a type of behavior in a supportive character. So I should improve that quality. The second lesson which I learned is, whenever there is no right or wrong way of communication, always you need to find out which is right for the current moment, right? The communication style is not written hard on a rock, but you need to know your communication style and also the other person's communication style. Knowing your style will help you to be emotionally intelligent and behave accordingly in the current situation. Knowing other person's style will help you to converse very meaningfully and come up with a successful outcome in any conversation. So that is very important. Like when you have to deal with, when you have to discuss with direct type of communication person, you should be very specific and you should not be over explaining or repeating yourself. And you should be hold on to your solutions, focus on your solutions, and you should not give more information what they are looking for. So do you remember who is the person of distant type communication style? Can anyone tell me, please? Okay, I will take the privilege. It's my wife. So how should I communicate with her? Don't voluntarily share any information with her unless she asks me for it. So that's one of the lessons which I learned from this communication style project, right? So what are the other two types of communication style? Other than supportive, myself, direct, my wife, there are two more. One is analytical and the other one is initiating. Now, you all will be curious, what is the 6321 mean? That is my score in the communication style evaluation process. 6 for supporting, 3 for initiating, 2 for direct, and 1 for analytical. And how about you, Toastmasters and Toastmaster of the day? Over to you, T. Modi.
Thank you so much for the wonderful session. It's Toastmaster Venkat. It's really a great project, especially from a Toastmaster point of view, because you come to know and understand your colleagues or your teammates in the clubs members, what your communication style is, and that will help in better understanding and have a better communication within yourself. It's one of the key things which, as a team, if you are able to understand the communication state. Overall, a great project. Give them a big round of applause. Thank you. Next, we have a Toastmaster from a neighboring state. He was the convener of the Eloquence 2018, the district annual conference of District 98 in Hyderabad. And one of his mesmerizing moments was when the PQD did a pleasant surprise by inviting his parents on stage for felicitating him as a convener of the effort that he has put in for that annual conference of the district. He's a Toastmaster from 2012, and the project that he's going to deliver today is from the Path Innovative Planning Level 4 Project 2, Building a Social Media Presence. Let's put our hands and welcome Toastmaster Krish. Toastmaster Krish, sell yourself.
Thank you, Raghunath. But I thought my evaluator will talk about objectives.
Yes, my apologies. Thank you so much. Yeah, let's welcome. Okay, so just to have the key things of the evaluator, let me welcome DTM Thomas to read out the objectives of this.
May I just give the bare objective of this project? It is for the speaker to apply his understanding of social media to enhance and establish media presence or to establish a fresh one. All the best. Over to you, sir.
You get carried away with things, and that's one thing. Thank you, DTM Krish, to remind about the objectives that need to be read out. Let's put our hands and welcome DTM Krish. Over to you.
Thank you, sir, Toastmasters Raghunath, and good evening to all my dear fellow Toastmasters from the neighboring state. I'm really happy to be part of this meeting. And of course, I was really happy to revisit all the rules from the parliamentary procedures from the DTM Abrahamji. I think this is the best place for me to talk about this project because when I talk about my social media presence in my district, people might tell, yeah, we know you, we saw you in multiple channels, you are part of my WhatsApp group, you are, you are in the Facebook group. And so I thought this is the best project which I can talk about and of course increase my social media presence in the neighboring district as well. So before that, let me ask you a couple of questions. So who are active in social media? Show of hands. Yes, Toastmasters, most of us are active in social media. So I'll take 3 answers, maybe 3 different answers. So in which you are active? In which platform? So maybe
Facebook.
Sorry. Okay, so Facebook answer I got, but why? Maybe a quick answer. Why are you active in Facebook?
Because I have connected with the network, my team, what they are doing.
Okay, so I got an answer from Facebook. So I expect at least a couple. Sorry.
I connect my network team from the childhood to right now.
Yeah, thank you. So I'm waiting for second answer. So someone said LinkedIn. So why are you?
Yeah, myself only. I told you about LinkedIn.
Yeah, Venkatesh.
Because LinkedIn, I got a vast number of cyber squatters, that service engineers, hardware engineers, hardware certified engineers, and everything. They used to send the questions also. I used to reply immediately the questions, and they'll ask about the cookies, privacy policies, and other things. This will help enhance my career. I'm raising my bar to LinkedIn.
Thank you. You made my speech more easier. And okay, third quick answer. Apart from Facebook and LinkedIn, anyone who's active in anything else? So very quick answer.
Not active other than these 2, but Tinder, Instagram.
Oh, Tinder, I was not part of it.
Something which is
Instagram.
So Tinder, I even didn't think about it. Okay,
Yeah,
so great.
I'm not part of. Yeah.
Yeah, so great. Thank you.
You get the information in no time. If you are active in these both, you get the day-to-day information and about your friends and the office and your job requirements and all those things. You know many more things in this.
Yes,
and you are able to keep yourself busy.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I think this went well more than what I expected, and thank you so much for all your interactions. So even I felt that when someone asked me this kind of question, why do you involve yourself and give a lot of time in social media? And trust me, if I was not in any social media, or particularly, I would say the king of all social media, which is WhatsApp. So I thought someone will talk about WhatsApp, but that's okay. I will talk about WhatsApp. So if I was not active in WhatsApp, maybe Sampath sir, I would not have posted in the group, and Sampath sir would not have come to me asking, yes, we have a slot. So I think
we don't think so. WhatsApp is a social media. It is a way of living.
Okay.
Without WhatsApp, you can't live.
Correct. I think I heard somewhere, in the past, people, when they wake up, they used to, see at the God's faces, and they used to take a bow and raise their hands. So, but now people, when they open their eyes, the first thing they do is they open the WhatsApp. I think that's how we are connected to this world with the social media. So, in my case, I always thought, okay, why should I use social media? I have all these questions. So I mainly use 4 things: Facebook, WhatsApp, LinkedIn, and Instagram. These 4 things I use. So I always have defined a purpose to use these things. So Facebook, I really wish all my friends every day whom I ever see happy birthday, and I send my personalized wishes to them. So I feel that, okay, even though they might be part of other country or in some corner of the globe, but I still have a chance to wish them, even though they are not in my contacts list. And of course, I know Toastmasters is not a place where we talk about sex, religion, and politics, but I want to bring out some important point. So in Facebook, I have created a page called as Bhagavad Gita Daily. I know I'll not talk about much religion about here, but I believe that Bhagavad Gita has something to do with about not one God or one religion, but the way of life, because it teaches. There are a lot of things which I got to know from the shlokas, where one needs to believe in karma and how our actions impact our own lives, and a lot of important things which are same across in different religions. So that's how I established my page in Facebook. And based on all these things, I also have some good number of Insta followers. And then I realized I can also do something with Instagram. I started Insta Lives. So I have made a couple of Insta Lives and they were super success. So on Women's Day, I had one of my good friends from Facebook. I invited to my Insta Live to talk about their achievements and their struggles and how they become entrepreneurs. And of course, on World Entrepreneurs Day, I had one of my good friends who is Forbes 30 under 30 in Asia. So he has his own, he's the CEO of one of the good growing companies in Bangalore and of course in India. So I got a lot of insights, and the people who were in the Insta Live, they got the sessions on how he succeeded as an entrepreneur and how he came across all the obstacles in the beginning phase of his career in establishing a company. So I believe Instagram really helped in such a way where we handle Insta sessions. And of course, I don't need to talk about LinkedIn. If you find someone in Facebook and if they don't accept your request, I have a shortcut. You send them in LinkedIn, they will definitely accept. So that's on a lighter note though. So LinkedIn is something definitely a professional network where you can seek job opportunities, someone rightly said, and you also get answers for all different kinds of questions in your professional place. And of course, WhatsApp, I think WhatsApp is a close friend when you compare to other friends. It helps you to establish network across all those other 3 platforms. And if not being inactive in WhatsApp, I would not have present in the session. So my dear friends, when you are part of any of the social media groups and you're active, don't think that, okay, am I doing a mistake or not? But you just think, if you're growing your network by which you can improve your net worth, then it's really worth of it to be part of the social media. And you're free to follow me in any Facebook, LinkedIn, and of course you can reach out to me for WhatsApp number as well. So you can stay connected with me, and staying connected will always help you and in different ways. And thank you for the opportunity to talk about my social media presence. And I just thought to sell myself here. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster Raghunath.
Thank you so much, DTM Krish. That was an interesting session on how you have made use of the social media. To me, I felt about the social media is that you need to have a particular balance, so that otherwise the kind of conversation which you have with your friends across the world, it becomes too fast. Like you don't, sometimes you might not be having your own time yourself. And that's something which you need to take care of when you're very active in social media. Now, let me request, let's put our hands together for that wonderful speech by DTM Krish. Thank you so much. Now, let me request the timer, Moinik, who are all qualified, whether all the speakers are qualified.
Yeah, all the speakers are qualified.
Zoom Master, are we having the poll now or at the end of? Oh, great, there you go. Please vote for the best speaker that between Venkat Sheshan and DTM Vamakrishna Aladi. Okay, so I'll have another 5 more seconds to complete the poll. Is it okay? We can go with the next. Perfect. Now, the next session is going to be as interesting in any of the Toastmasters meeting, and that's one of the key asset of Toastmaster. That's the table topic master, where we are talking about any topic that the table topic master provides, and we'll have to talk about 1 to 2 minutes. But to do that, we have one of our veteran Medleyan, Toastmaster Surya, who felt that there were a lot of special moments in his life, especially in various transition and when breakthroughs are required. It was very, can I request Toastmaster Surya, before you explain the table topic session, what is that moment that has helped you in life-changing events?
I just changed my career path completely. Earlier, you must be knowing that I worked as a HR in an organization. At some point in time, I thought I should move out and look out for a better job opportunity. It was the time where I wasn't working. It was just 2 weeks ago. It was the time when I was actively looking out for an opportunity, and I got an opportunity through one of my known persons who recruited me on my first job.
Excellent.
That I found it as a career breakthrough. I got into a new role, which is an SAP HCM consultant.
Excellent. Excellent. Congratulations to the new role. And let's put our hands together and welcome Toastmaster Surya as the table topic master. Over to you, Surya.
Thank you for that mesmerizing introduction, Toastmaster Raghunath. So I welcome you for another mesmerizing session in Toastmasters. I've got so-called mesmerizing topic that which you have to decide whether it is mesmerizing or not. And thank you so much, Grammarian, for providing me a very good word of the day, Toastmaster Priya especially, which made me to use it multiple times in today's meeting. Okay. Typically, for the benefit of guests, Table Topics is a session where I will be calling out people in random and will be giving a topic on spot and for which you need to speak. The minimum time which you have to speak about the topic is 1 minute in order to get qualified, and the maximum time that you can accumulate will be up to 2 minutes 30 seconds. And timer would have already explained you the procedure of time card. Let's quickly get into the progression. I'll call out the first speaker, Toastmaster Dr. T.K. Sundaram.
Thank you. I am available.
Toastmaster Dr. T.K. Sundaram, what recent memory makes you smile the most? What recent memory makes you smile the most? Toastmaster T.K. Sundaram.
Okay. For the past 1 week, I was going through the photographs of my early years from 1965 onwards. So some of the photographs which we had taken, and of course I have shared them in the WhatsApp as well as in the Facebook. Those are the photographs which actually kindle the memory how young we were and how actually the mind was at that time. And now actually, even by now, we think that that was a wonderful and excellent period of our life. And actually, even my marriage photographs, where I look very dumb and I'm actually very not so good looking. But then the thing is, that is the memory, that is the thing which happened then at that time, and everybody looked like the same way. Now, over the period of time, over the travel long distances and all, we have probably have changed ourselves a lot. But the memory is very green, and those photographs are actually, one of the photographs is actually taken in 1975 with all the colleagues of PWD, where actually, can I note the timer? Timer is not seen here. Okay. So yeah, where actually the photographs are really wonderful. Even today, just now, I have shared them in our WhatsApp group, and there are 20 engineers together in taken in Chepauk. And it was one of the good memory which kindled my the interest in it. So looking after the photographs of so many, I have large number of volumes, maybe about 80 of them, but it is very difficult to see all of them. But one by one, I am organizing them. Thank you. Over to you.
Thank you, Dr. T.K. Sundar, for taking us through a nostalgic memory of your life. Next, I would like to call Toastmaster Karthikeyan, who's hiding at the meeting room.
He's not available.
Right now, is it? Okay. Then I would like to call upon DTM Jager. DTM Jager.
Timer, you'll have to wait. Yeah, I'm available.
Okay. DTM Jager, the topic for you. Humility, an essential element in the creation of beautiful legacy. Humility, an essential element in the creation of beautiful legacy.
Humility,
an essential element in the creation of beautiful legacy.
Sir, I'll just repeat the topic. If it is all right, then I'll start. Humility, an essential element in the creation of legacy. Right? Timer can start now. Table topic master, fellow Toastmasters. Humility, an essential element in the creation of legacy. Really an apt topic for the current day principle. What is important for all of us in our character, in our behavior, in our actions? The most important thing that we should end up is to bring humility within ourselves. The more and more humble we are, then only we will know that we are successful. Success should not get into a feeling where we are on top of the world with respect to ego or sycophants. It is very important that when we are successful, we should always show humility. The moment we are humble, it brings to us more and more people who can join with us, learn from us, and also follow what we would like to do. And that is how we can create a legacy. I must clearly say that everybody should work on this important lesson of humility. Humility is an essential characteristic of man. I must say, humility is an essential qualification for all of us. Thank you. Over to table topic.
Thank you so much, DTM Shekhar. Toastmaster Sharanya, let me know once Toastmaster Karthikeyan is. Let's move on to the next speaker. I would like to call upon Toastmaster Venkateshan C.
First of all, congratulations for your new job, Surya. All the best for your future endeavors. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Thank you. Your topic is, it is better to die standing than live your whole life on your knees. It is better to die standing than live your whole life on your knees.
Yeah, thank you, Table Topic Master. I disagree with your question. Dying, once you born in this world, either male or female, the deadline is fixed by God or someone else. It's pre-written on your forehead. Life is full of problems, either positives or negatives. Negatives, you should take negative in a positive way. Henceforth, you are not supposed to commit that mistake. I do not agree with success or failure. Success is not a permanent, failure is also not a permanent. Once you achieve everything, you know that how to move. Once if you are failing in each and every step, you should know that the different steps, different way to move towards the destination. According to me, if you are success, it is very difficult to maintain the success. You have to maintain the number one position, it's very difficult. But the number two is, according to me, is you are keep on developing. I don't want to be number one. Always I prefer to be number two. Then only I will learn everything and I will sustain in this world till my death. Thank you for a nice topic, Table Topic Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Raghunath. Let's move on to the next person, guest Selvam. Selvam, hope you are available.
Yeah, Toastmaster.
Guest Selvam, here your topic is. What is something that you have tried but would never do it again? What is something that you have tried but you would never do it again?
Table Tag Master, can you please repeat the topic?
What is something that you have tried but would never do it again?
Okay. First of all, I'm coming from village, and my in my experience, I tried to do many things from the childhood, like playing in the mud and playing with friends in the river. So all this happens during the childhood. But one time what happened during childhood, I tried to play with the small snakes in my village, but because of my elders surrounding me, they try to prevent me to do with the snake, because it was like a lizard, it was like a small one. So that one is when I grow older, I still feel like the day when I was playing with the small lizard, like a snake. So that moment is still mesmerizing me, and I from that moment onwards, when I grow older, when I see what snakes will do to the human or the species, then I'll never do that activity again. Thank you for the topic, TT Master.
Thank you so much for a great attempt, guest Selvam. Now I would like to call upon Venkat Palli.
Hi. Yes.
Hi, Venkat.
Yes, Titi. Hi.
The topic is, what is something that you have always wanted to try, but have been too afraid to do? What is something that you have always wanted to do, try, but have been too afraid to do?
Thank you, TT Master, for the topic. If I recollect my childhood memories, I was very much fear about the squirrels. I remember in my childhood when I was studying third class, they were making a lot of noise in front of my home. Due to that, I was sick and unable to come out. And afterwards, I always feel that whenever I see them, I am afraid of them. Even I was studying in engineering all. And recently in Chennai, when I was talking same thing to my colleague, who is from Coimbatore, he surprised me and said, Venkat, I used to play with them. I used to catch them and play with them. Why you afraid of it? And they seems like it's biting your palm, but it won't be. You feel like kind of some feeling that you get laugh. Then okay, is it like that? But why I was afraid of that, I don't know. So here in my home in Chennai, here I see lot of people are feeding the food to the some seeds to the birds, and along with the birds, the squirrels also come, and they come to my balcony. So I always try to go in near to that, trying to catch them, but they are running away from me. So I'm always trying to catch them and see how they how I feel and how they feel, but I never able to catch them till now. So that's what I felt, TT Master. Thank you.
Dear Modi, do we have space for one more speaker?
I think let's go for the one more speaker and then close.
Okay. I would like to call upon guest person whom I was about to call vanished. So Toastmaster Karthikeyan. Okay. Pranav Nath, are you there?
Yes, Toastmaster Surya. Yeah.
Pranav. Okay. The topic for you is explain a breathtaking moment that you had in your life. Explain a breathtaking moment that you had in your life.
Okay. So actually, thanks team for this opportunity. And this is my first Toastmaster meeting. And the topic, Surya, so I'll start with my topic. So the breathtaking moment. So actually, I'm owning a company called Go Ask Now. So it is an edutech company. And before that, I was working in a Microsoft. And then what happened is like the culture which and the I had a passionate towards to start up a new company. So I left Microsoft in between, like within 1 years and 6 months. But everybody in my family, they were asking like, why you left this much, a very good opportunity. But what I did is like, after relieving the company, and then I start doing a lot of research to for my own passion to start up a company. And then I came up with a new idea to get into e-publications and becoming a backend support for all the edutechs. So what happened is like there was one of my friend who supported me in this, and then which there was a lot of challenges, and because the huge investment was very huge, so it was like I approached him, and then I published him my business plan, and then he was like immediately he accepted it, and he started to like fund for the company. So currently we have almost 120 employees and 50 full-time employees, and then 80 freelancers. So this was a very breathtaking, because in between I had a very huge gap after resigning a job, and I would say this incident was a very good, and it was my best thing. Yeah, thanks team.
If I were your friend, even I would have asked the same question, Pranav. Now, why did you leave the job from Microsoft? But it's definitely a brave attempt. All the best for your business. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day, Raghunath.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster, for that wonderful and some inspirational topics. And most of the Toastmasters did a good job. Timer, can you please let me know who all are the, is there any disqualification?
No, all the table topic speakers are qualified.
Perfect. Zoom Master, are we having the voting for the best table topic, or?
Yes, I just launched the poll.
Sure.
Can we do it in the end?
Perfect. That's also good. Yes, that's also good. That was Mr. Sharanya. Now, an important part of this any Toastmaster meeting is how to understand how each one of us has performed, both the project speaker and also the whole session, how it has gone and how it can be improved. A beautiful session which everyone have learned a lot. And to conduct that session, we have a Toastmaster, Madam Toastmaster, Toastmaster Sharanya. Let's put our hands and welcome Toastmaster Sharanya, the General Evaluator. Over to you, Toastmaster Sharanya.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day. Like evaluation is a Thank you, Toastmasters. Share from the evaluators of the prepared speech. First, I have Toastmaster Sendil Murugan to evaluate Toastmaster Venkata Session speech. Over to you, Toastmaster Sendil.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I'm here to evaluate Toastmaster V. Venkata speech on the title 6321. First, I will start with the title. It was short, catchy, and sweet. I was very curious to see how you are going to relate this topic to your purpose of the speech. Finally, yeah, you did it, and it seems justified with your content. What the general thing I like is, throughout your speech, you are constantly narrating the story and linking the story with your purpose of the project. That non-linear kind of speech was good and checked all the boxes in your purpose of the speech. The content was very good, which speaks about the topic and created questions in the opening part and giving solutions to the end part. The structure and plan was neat, and the character used in the story was relatable. I can remember them thanks to the voice variation you used. Delivering this speech was excellent. You stand up and delivered. It was appreciable. Used hand and head gestures wisely. Eye contact was very good. What could I have thought is you should have had a little more confidence while using hand gestures. Should be sharp. It should not look like a blunt. So it should give some elevation to your speech. The clarity of the language used was clear and understandable. The vocal variety was good. The tone changing to different character was notable. The speed and the usage of pause, volume of your speech was excellent. From starting to end, you tried to have a good connect with the audience. Though you didn't receive any response, you carried it very well. That was a good spirit. Really, I was mesmerized by the content and delivery of the speech. All the best to you, Venkata. Over to you, General Evaluator. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Sendil Murugan. So let's hear it from the next evaluator, Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham, to evaluate Toastmaster Vamshik. Over to you, distinguished Toastmaster Thomas T. Abraham.
Vamsi, ladies and gentlemen, what is a brand? A brand is an emotional watermark. It is a factual outline of a personality. Now, I was trying exactly what DTM Vamsi did very successfully by throwing a question and getting the response. I didn't get that because I didn't have the patience that he showed. First of all, kudos to you for starting by getting the audience engaged. You had 4 of them and you did it so unhurriedly, not like I did. So therefore, I was demonstrating how well you did your opening. Secondly, I liked your chumminess. Your personality was very much the social media personality. You were seated, you were comfortable, you were smiling, you were in a t-shirt. Everything fits in. Everything fits in. Third, this is what is called medium is the message. McLuhan, the media guru, said medium is the message. So through your manner, you brought out your message. You didn't have a blackboard to write that. That is again typical of social media. So this is internalizing the soul of social media and demonstrating to us, which was not part of the project. It's a bonus you gave us. Fourth is clarity. The 4 ways you got into social media, how you use them to suit the characteristic best, very well explained. Now is the strategy part for which I give you kudos. Sponsors, everybody, businesses, they all do what is called association. What I stand for, I explained by associating myself with properties and qualities. You did that. You brought 2 things out. Bhagavad Gita not in a strident manner, but as a interreligious platform, an acceptable platform you brought out. That is the spirituality. Shows your respect for the traditions and the values of this country. Equally, and more currently, and here in this room, there are entrepreneurs and the new style entrepreneurs here. So relevantly, you talked about creating a platform for entrepreneurship. Through these two associations, you are assuming a huge property of characteristics. Very well done. If it's so well done, what can I suggest to you? My only suggestion would be, you did some things for a purpose. If you were to first tell the purpose, I wanted to come through as whatever, therefore I did this, then that would have been an even stronger lesson for these wannabe social media personalities. And the other little thing I have to suggest is maybe you could look at, it's difficult, look at this strict shot of light, which is the camera, and pretend that you're talking to the audience than looking at the screen. So all in all, a stranger walked in, leaving as a good friend, with leaving behind a very clear media personality, demonstrating the project objective so very well. Congratulations. All the best to you in social media and your life. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much.
Thank you, distinguished Toastmaster Thomas C. Abraham. So that was a good session on the evaluation on the prepared speeches. We had very good evaluators. Moving on to the tag votes, let's hear it from our timer, Toastmaster Moinak. Can you please read out the timer report?
Thank you, Toastmaster Saranya, fellow Toastmasters, friends, and guests. Here is my timer report. For table topics, 2 minutes is the maximum time allowed for each speaker, with a grace time of 30 seconds. TM T.K. Sundaram spoke for 2 minutes and 4 seconds. DTM Jacob spoke for 1 minute and 37 seconds. TM Venkatesan C spoke for 1 minute and 14 seconds. Guest Selvam spoke for 1 minute and 41 seconds. TM Venkatapalli spoke for 1 minute and 49 seconds. Guest Pranav Raj spoke for 2 minutes and 11 seconds. So all are qualified and within the time limit. For prepared speeches, 7 minutes is the maximum time allowed for each speaker, and with a grace time of 30 seconds. TM Venkatasan V spoke for 7 minutes and 12 seconds. DTM Vamsi Krishna Aladi spoke for 7 minutes and 23 seconds. So all are qualified and within the time limit. For individual evaluations, 3 minutes is the maximum time allowed for each speaker with 30 seconds of grace. TM Sendil spoke for 2 minutes and 20 seconds. DTM Thomas T. Abraham spoke for 3 minutes and 26 seconds. So all are qualified and within the time limits. That all from my report. Back to you, team.
Thank you, timer, for the report. So let's hear the report from our accounter, Toastmaster Periyasamy. Over to you, Toastmaster Periyasamy.
Thank you, G. Just a few seconds. Let me complete. Sorry for the delay. Let me open the screen now. Hope my screen is visible. Yeah, thank you, G. Yeah, this is the overall org counter report. If you see that right from the Toastmaster of the day and the general evaluator and all the persons, org counters, and those filler words and crutch words has been mentioned here. If you see the overall, it's like 80 times the filler words, fillers, and the crutch words has been used. So in that, the major portions is coming from 33%, and second one is and 19%, and so 15%, and like 10%, and repeat 15%. So these are all the major portions is coming from. So if we work on those areas, fillers and crutch words, surely our flow and flow of the speech will be very much better. For the individual person's Toastmaster wise, you can make a note of that, how you have used the fillers and the crutch words in your speech. Thank you, accounter. Sir, thank you, GE. Thank you so much. Maybe once you can give just 20 more seconds, people to read out the things. So overall, from table topic master Surya and table topic speaker Jayagar and the table topic speaker Venkatesan, they had done the good job. Overall clean speech. I couldn't find any overused words or filler words. Thank you. Thank you, GE. Thank you so much.
Thank you, accounter. Toastmaster Periyaswamy for the report. That was a very good statistics on our club meeting. So let me move on to the grammarian. So let's have Toastmaster Priyadarshini to read out her grammarian report. Over to you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini.
Thank you. Here's my report. Raghunath Nair, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair had these beautiful words: smell the roses and bundle of joy. Venkatasation said lenient, active listeners, and indecisive. DTM Vamshi had beautiful lines: king of social media, Bhagavad Gita way of life, network to net worth. DTM Thomas said factual outline, medium is the message. Today's word of the day, mesmerize, was used by our Toastmaster of the day, to Raghunath Nair, and Abraham Zakaria used this mesmerize word 3 times, and Vincent used it once. As a grammarian, here is my quick grammar tip. I just got to hear about this yesterday and I really liked it, so I'm sharing with you all. What are the smart expressions we can use for our day-to-day terms? For example, how are you? This is a very commonly used phrase, and sometimes we don't even wait to hear the response. So how about trying this hereafter? Like, how's it going? How have you been? It sounds so warm and friendly, right? And what's new with you? What's up? A very casual term. Friends, one thing that we need to understand here, it is the tone with which we put this message. Then we are sure to get a smile or some response. So let's try using this. That's all from my side. Over to you, General Evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Priyadarshini. That was a very good report. So moving on to the overall summary, like how did the meeting go? So what are the positives and the area of improvements? So we started the meeting on time at 2:55. Kudos to all the organizers who arranged the meeting, and the physical meeting was very well organized. And really it is motivating us to come to physical meetings, like, you know, on every week. The Toastmaster of the day started the meeting with a very good energy, and he also introduced the team of the day, and we had a very well prepared speeches today. All the speakers spoke so well, and also we had very good evaluators who did a great job on the evaluation. The feedbacks were really valuable, and I felt like we need to have like few area of improvements, like so if there is any change in the agenda, it is better to share it in the WhatsApp group. So if people join the meeting a bit late, they will know like who is playing the alternate role in case a person is being replaced. And also if we are going to, like, as I guess to as our speaker told, like, it's better to share the PPT before, so that we can have a time reduction, and so that we can save everybody's time. So that can be taken as one of the point as an area of improvement. And other than that, while reading out the tag reports, it's better to read out each and individual name and tell like what, it's just one of my suggestions, so that they will know like what positives they have and what needs to be improved. So this is my overall report for today's meeting. With this, I would like to hand it over to the Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Raghunath Nair.
Thank you so much, Toastmaster Sharanya. Let's all give a big round of applause to Toastmaster Sharanya and all the tag players for that wonderful session, because that helps in us improving from what we were before we attended the meeting to what we are after the meeting. And something which we take away, fabulous meeting, a mesmerizing session. And you know, some of the moments of life which I felt is, which I still cherish, is something of traveling in a train. What a wonderful journey, right? You see how fast things moves, but still you are static. You get to know a lot of people. You meet new people, new friends, and here is a person who has still cherished a first train travel from his hometown with his father. I mean, that's something which I like, and that kind of a relationship which, when we share, is something which I always felt very comfortable when we were working in the XCOM as president and VP, now as IPP and the president. A very warm person. Let me hand over to our president of this term, Toastmaster Ranga. Before that, I think we need to have the voting done for the role players, the evaluators, table topic, and perfect. So another 20 seconds to complete the vote. Request everyone to please submit their vote.
What about tag player?
Yeah, it's coming one by one. There you go. So let me ask everyone to vote fast so that we can get the other one after the other and save time.
Thank you.
Yeah. The moment it comes in this, there you go. All right, please let me know once the polling is done.
Yeah, good with the polling.
Perfect. Let's put our hands together and welcome our presiding officer, Toastmaster Ranga, who loves, cherish the train travel. Over to you, Toastmaster Ranga.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me.
Yes, we can.
I hope I'm audible and visible.
Yes.
Yeah. Thank you. So it was a mesmerizing meeting. Even though we had a few hiccups, it went on very well. We got to know well about the parliamentary procedures and everything else. It went on very peacefully, and a hybrid meeting at that with minor hiccups. And that is to be expected, of course. So I'd like to call upon our guest, Pranav, to say a few words. He's here with us in IIT Madras Research Park. So introduce yourself and just tell us about how you knew about your experience. Your experience.
I think I'm audible.
Yes, yes, you are.
So this is my first meeting, so it was a great experience. So the first slide itself, they were giving an introduction about the parliamentary procedures. So this was the first time which I'm coming across, and it was a great learning. And I approached Ranganathan sir, so he gave I was added in the group. So that's how I came across. And more or less like getting into a normal webinar session, it was physically, it made me to come and then to have a better, more exposure, because every day we are working in a work from home basis. But this was a very good experience. So thanks for giving me.
So I'll move on to the winners of today's meeting. The best speaker is TM Venkatesation. Kudos to you, Venkat. The best TT speaker is DTM Jacob. The best tag player is Toastmaster Priyadarshini. The best evaluator is DTM Thomas T. Abraham. And the best role player is Toastmaster Raghunath Naik. So, two of us get awards in the physical meeting. So it's very encouraging that we would like more members to come here in person and experience this. So with that, next week we will have a joint meeting with Speech Studio from Bangalore. So I request all of you to log in or come in person. It's going to be wonderful because we're going to have a trifecta. A club from Bangalore will be joining in, and some members of ours will also be online, and some of us will be here in IIT Madras. I look forward to a wonderful time. At the sound of this gavel, I adjourn meeting number 657.
You have to bang 2 times when you're closing the.
No, that's only at the beginning.
No.
Adjournment only once.
Oh, is that okay? I thought it's the other way.
Thank you very much. We are just waiting for our samosas.
Perfect. Enjoy the samosas.
Cakes, yes.
And buy some.
Okay.
All right.
Best
Enjoy.
wishes.
Enjoy.
Open meeting. I can tell you, I'm really happy.